Hi, people that aren't live. It's me, Miss Peep. We're doing a thing. We're talking about anime. This is anime time. You like anime? Watch this video. What we're talking about today is Momo Sawaki, one of the main girl characters in Wonder Egg Priority. Wonder Egg Priority is a wonderful anime about women's trauma, and it features these four girls who have to go into dream realities to fight the trauma of other girls that have killed themselves in order to try bringing back their own friends that have committed suicide. And these all of these girls in this show, their trauma is manifested as what's called a wonder killer, which is like the boss of like that particular dream reality. So there's this character named Momo Sawaki, and nobody seems to understand that this girl is trans. And there's a bit of transphobia in the wiki and some people arguing, and then there's some trans people that actually recognize that she's trans. And so I'm gonna put an end to this dispute, and I'm gonna say the transphobia is cringe. So that's like the TLDR. Momo Sawaki's trans. Want to know why? We're gonna go watch the scene. We're gonna go watch the scene that basically confirms it. I don't know how legal this is, but we're watching Wonder Egg Priority. All right, there it is. That's the line. That's the line. The Wonder Killer, that fucking creepy ass thing, just mentioned that it was gonna chop it off. As a trans woman, I have had this saying like used against me personally. I've been told, when are you gonna chop it off? Why do you want to chop it off? Like this sort of idea, and this is referring to male genitalia. So this scene automatically tells you what's in her pants, right? And they're at a train station, and they're basically saying, hey, you can't ride this train because this is only for girls, and you're not a girl unless you cut it off. That is literally what is happening here in episode 4, the episode where Momo is introduced. And so then this is how Momo responds. So Momo says, "Fuck you, I'm a girl too." That's basically what Momo says. This doesn't need to be argued. TLDR, Momos Trans. She's also talking about how her real name is Momo Sawaki. This is like a reference to having a dead name. So this would be like her official name. This show is very good. This show, like, hold on. Have you seen? We're just gonna like look at a random scene in this show because every single frame of this show looks like a fucking movie. Like, not that frame. No, but like all of the characters are super detailed. All of the characters are super detailed, and the backgrounds and stuff. Like it all just looks really good. Like this is a wonderful, wonderful show. It's very dark. Obviously it's about suicide and stuff, but it's like a wonderful show. I really love this show. And I think that Momo's character is a very realistic representation of the trans experience. I don't know if I could find the scene. Oh yeah, they're there. Look at that. She's wearing a school uniform. Like this is what she wears at school. So a lot of people are very confused as to why she wears a school uniform at school, but like wears pants and stuff out in public, out of school. Um, as a trans girl, I have personally done this. I have personally dressed, more feminine at school rather than when I am walking around in public because at school, one, I had people that supported me, and two, it was away from my parents and anyone who really knew my parents. So that was something when I was first going through my transition in high school. I dressed like a girl at school, but I wouldn't do that in public. With Momo, I mean, her friend ended up committing suicide because Momo didn't want her friend fell in love with her but was too forward and Momo wasn't ready for it. And so that rejection made her feel the need to kill herself, which is very sad and tragic. And so she might also have trauma like regarding that outfit specifically because it's like the very clothes that she wanted her to like take off and all that. It was like the last sort of interaction they had. I don't know. It's like sometimes school is more accepting than like, just people in your hometown or neighborhood. And it could be a safer place to do that. You could also just, be afraid to express yourself. It's very hard to describe unless like you are trans and you relate to this, but there are days where I'm like, I'm scared to go out and wear a dress and look pretty because I don't know. I don't know what will happen. And that's really scary too. Like school can feel like a safer place, whereas outside you feel like maybe you could get hate crimes. I mean, they are in Japan, and I think Japan is less socially progressive. So if someone is able to tell out in public, that could be a risk. That could be a cause for fear. Whereas in school, it's a relatively safe place. It's a school. It's closed off from the outside world pretty much. It's a little hard to talk about. But I think it's very, very clear that this is like a trans-coded character. Like this character is very clearly trans. Like she's masculine. Like, okay, we're gonna go look at another scene. This scene made me tear up when I first watched. Actually, I know I full out cried when I watched this. So Momo's like looking at herself in the reflection and she's crying because of how she looks. She's experiencing dysphoria in this scene. Like, I've unironically done this because I look at myself and I'm like, no, I'm too masculine. And then the other girl, Oto Ai, she's like the main character, the girl with the yellow hoodie. She's like the main girl. She finds this is like their first interaction pretty much.
大丈夫？僕、いや、私、今、どう見える？え、泣いてる女の子。本当に？うん、泣いてるモデルみたいな女の子。ひまわり。これお気に入りだからこればっかり着ちゃう。でもすごくかわいい。ありがとう。モデルさんはみんな首筋から鎖骨のラインがすごいって感じなの。詳しいの？ちょっとちっちゃい頃によく見てて。
So then they start talking about her body features in a positive way in this scene.
見て見て、首すっごい綺麗じゃない？モデルさんみたい。ほんとだ、スラッとしてて長い。それに喉仏がない。喉 私ものとぼとけ好き、セクシーで好き。だよね。
So, anyways, you get the idea. Like they start giving her confidence and making her, feel happy to be a girl. She's concerned about how she looks. She's like, "How do I look?" And I says that you look like a crying girl. And you can notice how that is what makes her stop crying, to be seen as a girl. Like, I don't, it's very hard for me to understand how you can interpret this another way. So yeah, that's Momos Sawaki. Now we're gonna go look at the fandom. I mean, at least they gender her properly. I mean, in the show, they refer to her by she, her. She's insecure about herself, particularly her androgynous appearance. She cries when looking at her reflection and becomes upset when a wonder killer calls her a man. It is one of her main complexes. She suffered from being often considered as a boy since long ago. Many of the girls who interact with Momo will feel attracted to her romantically. I mean, one, the wonder killer didn't just call her a man. Like the wonder killer said, "Cut it off." So she's often suffered from being considered a boy since long ago. I mean, I guess you can interpret this as like gender is a social construct, right? And she was a girl all along. She was a girl all along, but she was considered as a boy. She was always gendered as a boy. Like, that's like the good faith way to interpret that. The bad faith way to interpret that is she's just an androgynous girl who gets mistaken for a boy, when that's just not it. That one line from the Wonder Killer, like that is very much relevant to this. And then if we look at some comments, last thing you should expect is Japanese entertainment making a series about those non-binary gender nonsense. This person doesn't understand that she also wears masculine clothes, has the hair and pronouns. She was born with the masculine pronouns. She likes being called a girl. She's not a trans man that doesn't realize it yet. I mean, yeah, that would make her an egg, and that would be very catchy or quirky with the title, Wonder Egg Priority. But I don't think she's an egg, and I also don't think that Japan necessarily uses the same type of terminology. I don't know. There's lots of people arguing. There was a comment here, and it's not here anymore. But it was basically telling the people saying that she was trans to kill themselves, basically. Like that was a comment that I saw, and that was like why I originally wanted to make this. And I saw this comment like last week. But like I don't know how you can make such a statement when this show is about trauma and characters who deal with suicide. But like that was a thing. Rodin actually wrote a paper about this like the day we saw that comment, and he quoted it, but like I don't think we actually have the screenshot of it. There were death threats in the comments, but like I don't know, I can't really find them now. I think some of them got deleted. Like there are mods. Y'all being transphobic, she's not even trans. There's just so much argument and people don't understand, but it's like I feel like it's so clear and easy to understand. Why can't we just call her a tomboy? Not every trans person is a tomboy. Also, in the latest episode, which I haven't been able to see yet, as you can see, this is episode 7. They're all going to school. She's wearing the schoolgirl outfit at school. Agony. Okay, here it is. Episode 7. You can see after school. This is in the present. This is not in the past because they're all in school together. She's wearing the schoolgirl outfit. She's only wearing this at school. This is a behavior I specifically have done. To only dress like this out in school, away from like my home neighborhood. Oh, check Discord. Do we have the evidence? The comments that stand out the most are those that include slurs, such as the word tranny and faggot, and even a commenter going so far as to say all these retarded trannies going in the comments is disgusting. This character just existing will contribute more to society than you ever will. Get a rope. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But yeah, this was a comment that is now gone. So you're just gonna have to take our word for it. He wrote an essay about this. But yeah, this was a comment. This was a comment that was on that fandom page, but it is now gone, which is a good thing. It's a good thing that it's gone. This is a thing that we documented, kind of. We don't have like a screenshot from fandom, but this is what we got. Anyways, Momos Trans. That's my take.